Hello everybody and welcome back. As always, I'm Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. Today, we are once again talking about the Quest Pro because it's been unboxed. Woo! Fancy stuff here, guys. I'm sure by now you've seen the leaked images and video, and I personally was in no immediate rush to discuss this, as I didn't feel like this leak was a big reveal, at least to people who were in the know. Now, it definitely sucks for Meta's PR team, and for individuals who aren't keeping up to date on leaks, this was definitely a shock, which I can tell by seeing the internet's reaction. So let's use this as a jumping off point as to why we should and shouldn't be excited for the Quest Pro. Now, there will of course be links and timestamps to all of today's topics, but before we jump in, this video is sponsored by Ultimax, a brand new free-to-play competitive sports title. It's Robots meets Rocket League featuring 1v1 and 2v2 goal scoring action. Available for PC VR, Quest 2, and Pico headsets, you can jump in on September 15th to experience that action and begin customizing your own personal mech. Ultimax is from Resolution Games, the same amazing studio that brought you other titles like Blast On, Demio, and Cookout: A Sandwich Tale. There's links down in the description if you're looking for some more information. Okay, so before we break down the reasons why we should and shouldn't be excited for the Quest Pro, let's just address the hype. The Quest Pro is definitely going to be a popular topic for the next month or so, and I am determined not to let the hype get to me, not rush out any content, and truly evaluate this product for what it means for us, the consumer, and the VR industry as a whole. If my channel requires me to follow the hype train, or be the first to report on some news, well then I'm destined to fail in the long run, and that's not my goal for this channel. So I hope you appreciate that and my opinions overall, and if you do, maybe go ahead and throw this video a thumbs up or comment below. Now, I do want to address the leak for 2 seconds. If you think it's some meta conspiracy, I doubt that's the case here. The actual leaker was recently featured on Upload VR if you want to go check that out, the link down below. And it basically just sucks for Meta that someone left these laying around and another person was there to find them. Now, the main takeaway from this leak is the fact that it confirms many previous leaks. So going forward, I believe I can speak with a high level of confidence about the technology in the Quest Pro and what it means for the industry. Okay, so let's get the bad stuff out of the way. The reasons why you shouldn't be excited for the Quest Pro. For starters, this device is not for you. It's not designed for consumers, which makes up 99.9% of my audience. So if you're watching this video, odds are you're curious about the Quest Pro, but it's not a device that's been designed for you. It's an enterprise or prosumer level headset meant to test new features and functionality. That includes camera-based AR pass-through, pancake lenses, eye and facial tracking, and ringless controllers with a new tracking system. Now, later on, I'll discuss why all of this tech is great news, but little to none of this will immediately enhance what we currently use VR for: gaming. In fact, the hardware driving the Quest Pro is the same as the Quest 2, with only a few minor upgrades, and it's going to be much more expensive. Now, once again, the price tag is not officially confirmed, but just how every other Quest Pro leak and rumor is coming true, this one's most likely dead on too, and we're looking at a $1,500 price tag. Now, that price might sound absurd, but let's break it down. The Quest 2 is currently heavily subsidized, and Meta might still be losing money at the current $400 price tag. But let's just say that $400 is breaking even. So on top of the base Quest 2 price, we have to add in higher resolution displays, those new pancake lenses, the high resolution pass-through cameras, additional cameras for eye tracking, and finally those new controllers which have built-in cameras themselves. The break-even point on this headset is most likely somewhere around $800 to maybe even $1,000. And let's also factor in the matter that Meta spent billions getting to this point, so they're not currently looking to break even. Their goal on this headset is not to generate a mass amount of sales, but rather start breaking into a whole new field of technology. Meta is aiming to make VR more than just a gaming device and turn it into the next computing platform. But the main reason why you shouldn't be excited about the Meta Quest Pro is it won't elevate gaming, at least not yet. With the processing power extremely similar to the Quest 2, your VR games won't be getting any boost. Yes, the clock speeds and the amount of RAM on the Pro will most likely be better, but this doesn't translate into a significant performance increase. Eye-tracked foveated rendering may also improve performance, but there's no guarantee it will be implemented for any games. So at most, we would see titles running at a slightly higher resolution or a slightly faster refresh rate. Game development will still focus on the Quest 2. There'll be a limited number of Quest Pros out in the wild, and it's just not cost effective for developers to focus on the hardware found in the Quest Pro. Now, I'm sure we'll see Quest Pro specific software, but this will be limited to things like AR tech demos, similar to the experiences we used to get when VR first released. So at best, you'll be paying 4 times the price for a modest performance increase for your Quest 2 games, and in the worst case scenario, the experience might actually be worse. Games were not designed for the panels in the Quest 2, so colors might not be represented the way the developers originally intended. On top of that, I have 2 anecdotal stories from individuals who have used the Quest Pro, and both complained of excessive light bleed because this is not an enclosed headset, and one even claimed that the screen door effect is back, which I find absolutely absurd with such high resolution panels. Maybe this new pancake lens design has some type of artifacting that appears like the screen door effect, or maybe there's another factor at play. But again, these are just 2 anecdotal cases, and until we get a hands-on, we won't be sure what the overall experience is like. But enough of the bad news, let's get into the reasons why we should be excited. So most of this new technology that I mentioned will eventually make its way into future gaming headsets, and at that point, it will be cost effective. The Quest Pro is a testbed that puts the burden on prosumers and the enterprise level. They're gonna find out what features work and which ones don't, or rather what just delivers the biggest bang for the buck. But we know for sure that the pancake lens system will allow for significantly slimmed down headsets with better weight distribution and increased comfort, and possibly some huge FOV improvements. Now, another huge item that you don't hear many people mentioning is those ringless controllers. Those controllers have cameras inside of them with a whole new tracking system that not only can reduce the performance overhead on the headset itself, but may even add some extra features like full body tracking. And finally, we have eye and facial tracking. Now, facial tracking would be a huge benefit to social interaction in the metaverse. There are a lot of social cues that we miss without facial tracking, and I've personally attempted to wink in VR chat on multiple occasions, but I think the eye tracking will be the much bigger deal. Yes, it is once again a major tool for social interaction, but it could be the holy grail for performance increases. Eye tracking based foveated rendering will keep the game's visual quality very high where you're looking while decreasing it everywhere else. This is how your eyes work right now in real life, and there is the potential for a huge performance boost, but we've never seen it in action before. But if it does end up working out, mobile VR can see some much higher end games in the near future. And finally, what keeps me really excited for the Quest Pro is we are breaking into new territory. Even if the headset is a complete, utter failure, it will lead to future gaming improvements. But there's also the possibility that AR is the next big thing. You can't really explain how powerful VR is to someone, you just have to make them try it. We had no idea that things like slicing blocks to the beat of music can be absolutely addictive, and the Quest Pro will once again place us in that new world. Who knows, I might end up playing a ton of AR-based board games. I'm currently playing a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, and if there was a headset that gave me awesome graphics and did the math for me, I'd take that right now. But that's still me looking at it from the confines of what I know right now. Until we actually get into AR, we have no idea what the true potential really is. We play games to have a good time after all. We might be in it for different experiences, but who's to say AR isn't the perfect experience for you? No one knows yet. And how VR gaming became the dominant form of gaming for some people, AR gaming might do the same, or it might become an extremely useful tool for productivity that you end up using more than your laptop. Right now, we just can't say, and that's what makes the Quest Pro so exciting. Now, I would love to hear what you think down in the comments. Are you excited for the Quest Pro? Are you just holding out for a Quest 3? Let me know, I'd love to hear it. And that was today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. And as always, I will see you guys on next time.